Love to go up to the top of the draft as well because what Chicago did, I felt was special. It was always going to be Caleb Williams. It was always going to be Caleb Williams. It was always going to be Caleb Williams. And we knew that as the draft got even closer. But that was solidified with even the way that he carried himself at the draft. I thought his answer to Kaylee Hartung, who was conducting our interviews on the NFL Network, was really good and strong after he got selected and he was on the stage. I can't remember exactly how she worded the question, but it was along the lines of like, why is this going to work? I believe was kind of the vein of the question. And he said something, normally what I'm expecting, I'm just geared to expect, because I'm going to work hard and I want to win. And, you're going to get a guy. No one's going to work harder, blah, blah, blah. And he just looked at her and kind of like snapped over and in the microphone and was like, because I care. And I was like, that's a unique answer. And I really enjoyed the answer. He says, I care about winning. I care about being great. I care about my teammates. I care about my coaches. I even care about the janitors in the building. You can think what you want to think about Caleb Williams. I've spent some time around this guy. His teammates generally really like him. He tried to get other guys paid around him in NIL, namely the offensive line. He was on a team that was underachieving. I don't believe that was his fault. A lot of that to me was a poor offensive line and a subpar, at least for Lincoln Riley's tenure, subpar wide receiver room. Because of that, I felt like he tried to put a cape on his back too much, hold the ball too much. So this last year wasn't great. The year before, unbelievable. And this answer, I care because I care. It's going to work because I care. I loved that answer. You can hate Caleb Williams if you want. I think it's going to succeed. And they are in a better position than anybody but Minnesota in terms of a rookie quarterback to succeed. They get Caleb Williams, Odunze. You betcha. I can't wait to see those two on the field together. They get Keenan Allen. They have DeAndre Swift. They got DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. That's all of a sudden a really good offense, folks. There you see Caleb Williams. If you're watching on YouTube, Caleb Williams and Odunze after Odunze was selected with the 9th pick. This duo formed a good positive relationship before the draft, and then they end up being drafted to the same location. And all of a sudden, this is a far cry from what Chicago was when they drafted Justin Fields. And here they are, and they have weapons around it. I think the defense can get better. They drafted Torrey Taylor in the 4th round, so you know that at least when they have to punt, it's going to be an incredible punt. Torrey Taylor of Iowa. I think they could possibly be this season's Houston Texans. I really do. I'm a big fan of Chicago's draft, and it's not all the time that you look at the team with the number 1 draft or the number 1 draft pick and you say like, man, they killed it throughout the draft. And they did. 2 top 10 picks. And I think that the NFC North is going to be an incredible division to watch. You've got 2 rookie quarterbacks there with the Vikings and the Bears. You've got the Lions with everything they've got going on, and they went to the NFC Championship game, and that's become a division that I'm all in for. Let's talk about another one of the quarterbacks, Bo Nix. If you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you will know that, and I'll say it because I know it's true. We were the first right here to say this, and then it came to fruition. I believed it when I said it, and I believed it throughout the process. Bo Nix was a perfect fit in Denver because of his style of play, the offense that Sean Payton runs. I said it way back at the beginning of this process. I believe it was still January, and I said Denver's going to draft Bo Nix. And lo and behold, here's exactly what happened. By the way, our social team probably going to be pulling up that clip, and then they'll interstitial it, and then that'll get released on social, which you can follow at Joel Klatt Show. Any of the social medias. So Nix gets selected by the Broncos. Was he overdrafted? I think that's a fair question. Even though I thought that this was going to be the pick for months, it was all based on fit and not necessarily value. This is not a knock against Bo Nix. I just think Bo Nix was probably more of a mid-20s draft pick than he was a 12th pick in the draft. But is what it is. All the quarterbacks are off the board at that time, and Denver's got to get their man. They can't allow the Raiders to get on the clock and potentially take Bo Nix. They can't just say, hey, we're going to take him in the second round, because they don't have a second-round draft pick, and no one was in a position right there to fill a need significant enough to want to trade up. So, yeah, Denver could have traded back. I just don't think that they would have gotten the value. Then you're also rolling the dice with the Raiders. Maybe they love Bo Nix. Can't do that in their own division. So at that moment, you take the pick. You take the pick. He fits Sean Payton. When I say fits, let me just explain that briefly. Sean Payton's offense relies on, generally speaking, and kind of for the most part in the passing game, what I would call scat protection. When I say scat protection, that means 5 offensive linemen protecting and nobody check releasing. So you have all 5 potential pass catchers out immediately. They've got no responsibility in the pass protection and just the 5 up front protecting. They run that quite often. Well, Oregon ran that quite often. Now, why do you like that? Okay, why would that be your MO? Wouldn't you want to protect the quarterback? Well, because you protect the quarterback through the quarterback's intelligence and his ability to get the ball out quickly as a point guard. It's actually a better way to protect the quarterback sometimes than holding the 6th guy in protection or the 7th guy in protection, or even max protecting and sitting in there with 8 and trying to block everybody. Just let the quarterback protect himself. Protect himself with his mind first, and then his feet and his accuracy. And Nix does that really well. Oregon does that really well. Now, he can do other things, there's no doubt, but that point guard style of play and cerebral approach to the game is why this is a fit. It's why the Russell Wilson was oil and water. Russell wants to hold the ball, throw it down the field, max protect, big play action. That's not what Sean Payton wants to do. Sean Payton wants to release everybody, and regardless of pressure, you get that 6th blitzer, boom, you replace him with the ball. You have answers in the pass concept and not necessarily in the protection. That's why Bo Nix fits the Denver Broncos. That's why I think he can have a lot of success early, although that's still a roster that's going to need some pieces. They did pick up one of those pieces in Nix's teammate in the 4th round when they got Troy Franklin, a wide receiver that I thought was even a fringe first-round pick, but they took him in the 4th round. He was a heck of a player. At times, I thought he was even like the 3rd best receiver in college football last year. Thank you for watching the Joel Klatt Show YouTube channel. And if you liked this clip, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel, and you can stay up to date on all of my college football coverage.